So over the past few weeks, I've been working with mantra meditation and mala meditation, kind of a mix of the two. And I just wanted to share with you all uh, my recent experiences with that and its impact, its immediate impacts on me, and just basically my perspective on it as of right now. So about 2 or 3 weeks ago, and this is weird because I don't really remember when I got into it, but it was very recent, and now all of a sudden it's a very prominent part of my daily consciousness. But about 2 or 3 weeks ago, I was listening to a Ram Dass lecture, and whatever he was talking about led to me thinking about his guru, Baba Maharaji. And then I found out that he was always chanting a mantra, which is Ram. He was always going Ram, 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 Ram in his head. He would do it out loud during chant meditations with his devotees and stuff like that. But what I was specifically learning about was that this man was constantly in his mind reciting this word, this mantra, Ram. And apparently he would even, Ram Dass said that when he first met him, he thought he had like this nervous tic because he was always going like this with his hand. But it wasn't until later that he realized what he was doing was keeping with the beat of the Ram. Ram, 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 Ram. And this just blew my mind, because if you look into Miracles of Love, Ram Dass's book, or listen to Ram Dass's lectures of him talking about this guru, he was a crazy, crazy guy. He did some crazy stuff, did some magical wizard type shit, and just learning that he was constantly in his head doing a mantra rather than thinking to himself and being all hyper analytical and philosophical. Nope. He is literally just in his head chanting, and what he does is spontaneous, So this is really what got my interest, but like I said, I don't remember looking into it any further than that. I really think I just found that out and then decided, hey, you know what? Tomorrow at work, I'm going to see if I can chant Ram all day long without losing track. So I did. I tried, and that's going to be a major part of what I'm talking about in this video is the immediate effect it had on me. So the next day of work came around after listening to this lecture and hearing the Ram Ram thing and finding out about that. I was going to try to spend the whole day thinking Ram, 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 Ram. And it went well. It went well for the first little while, because I was all excited, and I was I felt like the Baba or whatever. I felt all fucking spiritual. But pretty quickly, as the day got going into work, and there's different stuff to be being done, and once I get complacent in what I'm doing, and I just start thinking about, just thinking, I would find that the Ram, it would basically go mute and was in the background while I'm having all these other thoughts, and it'd be a whole plethora of things man, I'd really rather be home than working right now, or how much more of this is it gonna take? How much more loam is it gonna take to, because I'm in landscaping or whatever it was, and then I'd remember to myself, oh yeah, I'm supposed to be Ram, Ram, Ram. And the thoughts would dilate back onto that. Ram, Ram, somebody says something to me. Oh yeah, what do you need? Yeah. And the ROM would be out the window, gone, you know? And halfway through them talking to me after encountering me, oh yeah, ROM. And what I immediately realized was how hard it was to stay focused, how hard it was to stay concentrated on one thing. You know, it seems simple, it seems easy to put your attention on one thing rather than all of this stuff, you know, because you're always focused on a bunch of different stuff. The way you'd think about it to yourself would be, oh, focusing on one thing, that ain't nothing. I'm always doing a bunch of different stuff. But the thing is, that's just it. We're in a habit. We are habitually focusing on tons of things and having a very, very minimal amount of concentration or awareness in all the things that are going on, to the point where when you consciously try to focus on one thing, and it doesn't have to be a mantra, it could be something you're looking at, it could be a sound, it could be a specific sensation in your body. When you try to focus on one thing, even just try to think of one thought, try to just have one thought, your mind begins to go spread roots and just dart off in all these crazy directions, and you get like spun out into the different imaginative dialogues that you are almost silently creating, you know? And that whole phenomenon points out drastically when you engage in an activity like mantra meditation, like this ROM thing I was doing. I immediately realized I can barely hold a point of focus for more than 45 seconds at a time, you know? Before I'd be pulled back into what I was thinking about, or my habitual things of thinking, of like fantasies and interests and dreams and stuff like that, you know? Because you kind of have like a book of what you think about every day, and you kind of just bounce around that book and with whatever's happening, and you go about with what's happening. And then when you're complacent, you think in terms of that book of yours. And while I'm doing this mantra, while I'm doing this ram, it's almost like you can, for once, read your mental book, you know, because you can immediately note when something other than ROM pops up, you know, because it stands out immediately, and it will sort of pull you away from your ROM. And that's because another thought came in, and you kind of just forget to keep going. And then, oh yeah, ROM. And you can still remain thinking about things, or even, I could be talking somebody in the face, like looking somebody in the face, talking to them, listening to them, and the whole while in my mind is ROM. Another thing that immediately stood out to me about the mantra meditation was after that first day, I came home, and that's another thing. When I came home from work, the mantra seemed to get quiet, you know, and I'd be just doing what I was doing, hanging out, watching videos, playing video games or something, and I'd just kind of randomly hear in my head, as you do with all these thoughts, I'd just randomly hear ROM, And I'd be like, that's funny. Like, it's in my unconscious thought streams now, you know? And it kind of spooked me out at first. I thought I fucked with the neurology of my brain to the point where, I couldn't help but think of... I couldn't help but keep thinking Ram, 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 and like nothing else was coming up, you know. But that is the twisty delusion, confusion of the mantra, is that while it can be there constantly, everything else you're doing is there too, and you can see it in such a clearer light with this mantra going on, because it stands out. It's like black on white, you know? It stands out from the mantra, and you can analyze it. This is another thing I noted from this whole mantra meditation, is the ability to almost plow through what's going on. In terms of, say, and somebody says something negative to you. If you're busy ramming, if you're busy mantraing, maybe for a split second, you'll think of how you feel about what they just said, or get absorbed into how you feel about what they said. But if you are staying strong and true to this mantra, before this thing pops up, you know, before this argument or awkward scenario pops up, while mantraing, you seem to just sail right through it, unaffected, you know? This has happened to me multiple times at work. You know how it is at work. You can get stressed out, you want to go home, you're tired of the people you're working with, and I'm busy ramming, and then all of a sudden somebody pisses me off. And I'm going, fucking, what did they do? Oh yeah, that's right, ram. And just like that, you know, your mind, you float through that, you know, and it's like usually something comes at you and you grab onto it and it stays there for a second until you get bored with it. And then you grab onto the next thing that's coming by and stay with that until you get bored with it, you know? And it's the opposite of flow. It's the opposite of the Tao, you know? And I guess I could say that this mantraing allows you to kind of to walk the flow of the Tao, in a sense, in that you don't need to be held up, distracted, you know, you don't need to waste your time reacting to all these situations, you know, because you're busy ramming, you're busy mantraing. That's what you're doing, that's what you're focusing on, and nothing else, everything else is just a thought, right? That's what you're putting into this whole mantra philosophy, is focus on the Ram, focus on the mantra, and everything else is thought. So why let go of that idea when somebody pisses you off, or somebody says, hey, yo, can you help me real quick? You know, because you're so quick to just, oh yeah, I got you, or start defending yourself and fuck the mantra, they piss me off, you know? But that's a thought that you just got sucked right into, you know? And to say again, doing this mantra, keeping this mantra fresh and constant in your head, allows you to see what pops in and out of your life very vividly. Happiness, sadness, embarrassment, awkward tension, you know, social tension, boredom, sadness, depression, anxiety. You see everything so black on white, like I said, whilst this mantra is going on. And you can either choose to look into it while still holding true to the mantra, of course, or you can continue sailing. You can continue sailing with the moment. Not through the moment into the future, but continue sailing with the moment. Wherever it's going. No matter where it's going, you are. And with the mantra, you'll be there. So, I hope I described this pretty well. Another thing, before I end the video, is these malas right here. If you want to know what these are for, all you gotta do is start at the guru bead at the very bottom and run one through your finger at a time, and each time you run one through your finger, repeat your mantra. So in this case, for me, Ram, 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 Ram. It's a good way to keep track of, I guess it's just an intensifying of the concentration and the trance, I guess. If you try it and get into it, I'm sure you'll understand or know anything about it to begin with. So, that's it for this video. Sorry I haven't made a video in a while. I've just recently got back to work due to this coronavirus thing. So, I've been kind of busy, but I'm hoping to get some cool videos up in the future here. So, I will be back soon. Thank you for watching.